Luke Grimes says new album Red Bird is a snapshot of my soul and the most honest music he has ever written. Luke Grimes is diving headfirst into the most honest era of his storytelling that he has ever encountered. With his sophomore album, Red Bird, out now, Grimes truly peels back the layers of the proverbial emotional onion, revealing deeply personal, internal discussions about the duality of great loss and great gain he has encountered in his life as of late. If it's a snapshot of my soul, then we have to put it all in there, he tells people in conversation about the new project, which arrives just over 2 years after his self-titled debut album exposed listeners to his stripped-down, powerfully resonant sonics. For Grimes, Red Bird is an exploration of all sides of himself, honed through the last few years he has spent intently focusing on his music with the backdrop of a massive acting career and growing obligations as a family man. There is that immature guy in there that still raises his head and shows a bit of ugliness. That guy needs to grow up, but he's in there. We've got to represent him, he reveals. Then there's the guy that's completely in love with his wife and his child, and that's sad that his dad is gone, and all of these things are happening simultaneously. Though the track list for Red Bird is even tighter than his 2024 offering, coming in at just 10 songs, Grimes notes that it was by design and a reflection of him truly putting himself all out there on this project. We cut 16 songs and then only chose 10 because they felt like the ones that were the most honest, he shares. If there's any through line or anything in those songs, that's all it is really, is just the ones that felt like they really came from inside myself and where I was at the time. Additionally, the project largely came together in one burst of creative expression, as Grimes recalls. 8 out of the 10 songs on this album were written either the night before or the day that we cut it. That was our process, he says of the Dave Cobb-produced project. I never drove around with demos for months and got sick of the songs. It was all very off the cuff, because I think we felt like that would be the way to be the most honest about it, is not overthink it. Randy Grimes, the singer's father, died at 70 years old in February 2022, and the loss has remained a profound driving factor in his life ever since. Not having him here anymore made me really go back and hold on so dear to some of those memories, he told Mr. Feelgood that summer of the death. He taught me that you can be strong without having an ego, and you can be a leader and still be humble and still be kind. Just over 2.5 years later, Grimes and his wife Bianca Rodriguez Grimes welcomed their first child, a baby boy, in October 2024. Having experienced a profound death and birth in such a short time set the trajectory for how the star came to approach his sophomore project. Life is a mixed bag, and sometimes the greatest and worst thing can happen to you simultaneously, he notes. That's recently what my life has felt like. There's been a lot of love and loss at the same time. There's losing my dad on this album and having my child on this album, and sometimes in the same song, because that's how it feels sometimes. Any bit of duality, I think, is just coming from just honest experience, Grimes adds. The ability to pursue honest, raw